Hey, we are back at the dealer, and oh my gosh, it is a gross, gross day so far. A lot has happened since we last talked. We spoke in August. It's September now. I've got the truck over here at the dealer. I've removed the dumper, and now we've got a flatbed on here, a low loader. Rented again. I am not yet ready to make a commitment. These things are really long, is the problem. And I'm worried about getting into some of the tighter areas here in the city to deliver goods that I hopefully will one day produce. So I'm kind of reluctant to buy one of these very long trailers. I've been talking to Dan, my sales rep here inside the dealership, and he has an idea about what might work for me. So we may look into that in the future, but we're not producing anything yet, so no need for that just now. I have here some pallets and some fertilizer and some seeds, all of which is going to go in my brand new greenhouses, which I did put up. I am excited to show you, but while I'm here, there's one more thing. In the shop here, do you see that red tractor just there on the other side of that very dissected forage harvester? That, my friends, is my first tractor. Good one came up, a McCormick used on sale, and like I said, I'm going to have to buy a lot of equipment used, so I went for it. So we'll come back and pick that up later. Right now, Rachel, who is my favorite mechanic here by far, is servicing it. So, let us get on the road and take this supplies for the greenhouse out to the greenhouse, and I'll show you what I've been up to on the farm. There's one more thing we're going to need for the greenhouse, and that's water. And again, Dan, my sales guy here at the dealer, he has got a tanker that will fit on this tractor for me, this TLX. So I will come back in a little bit when I drop off this trailer and pick up that tanker and get that fitted onto this TLX. Always with the honking out here. This is an awkward area to get through with a long trailer, I will say. In fact, I might have just gotten stuck on something. There we go, moving again. So I spoke with... Okay, come on across. I spoke with my sponsor at the Board of Agriculture, Kate. Sponsor in this situation is really basically like handler. It's kind of her job to keep tabs on what I'm doing. Oh, this is so awkward to get over these speed bumps. Keep tabs on what I'm doing out here in the frontier, kind of progress I'm making. Make sure I'm making these videos to keep you all at home updated on how it's going, because the whole point of this is to show people it's safe to come out here and start farming. Jury is still out on that, but so far nothing bad has happened to me. Whew, that was tight. So I was talking to Kate about how tight it is to get through there sometimes, particularly when there's a lot of traffic or I've got this long trailer right now. And I was asking her about this other access road that goes up to that closed gate. And if it's possible, if I clear the sand off of that, if we can get me access to that gate. So she's going to talk to Frontier Security, but she seems optimistic. The main gate and checkpoints there are really for people who are traveling in and out of the city irregularly. I am coming in and out so often as I'm getting everything set up here. They may be willing to make an exception for me. So we'll find out. But if so, that means I'm going to have to move a lot more sand. Hooray. Woo! So, you probably got a glimpse of that as I drove up. I am so excited to show you. It's so wet. What's going on here? Check it out. I almost tripped over my honey. I have honey. I have bees. I'll show you the hives. I set up one over there by that batch of trees and one over here by this batch of trees. And eventually I'll get one set up in the back there pointing toward the field. In the meantime, I've got 3 greenhouses that I put together myself. It was a lot of work, I'm not gonna lie. I was able to assemble these frames while they were on the ground and then sort of stand them up and hook them together. And I had to lean stuff against the wheel loader and use the wheel loader to lever things up and lean stuff against the tractor, and it was a whole big thing. But I got them put together. I got my little boxes going. Got my dirt all ready, so I just need my seeds and my fertilizer and my water, and then I will need pallets when the time comes to start taking stuff out of them. So yeah, I set up 3. I'm going to set one of these up with, I think I'll just do one with carrots and one with cabbages and one with watermelons because I can't decide. It all sounds good. I'm kind of tired of eating things out of cans out here, so maybe I'll get something fresh for me. I bought a new pallet fork for my wheel loader so I can unload this trailer. Let's do that, and then I'll show you what else I've been up to. There's one of the helicopters, Frontier Security, coming to make sure we're all safe, or something. Oh, we're going to talk about that someday. Yep, nothing to see here. Just a farmer unloading a trailer. It's fine. Everything's fine. Let's get these straps off so I can start taking things off. I did not load this trailer. Steve at the shop loaded it for me with their wheel loader. But he showed me a very cool trick, which I am excited to try out. And hopefully everything works the same way here. First, let's get some of these pellets off. It's very possible I put that honey in a bad spot. Or maybe I put the trailer in a bad spot. I'm not sure. Unload that. So, bees. I don't actually know how to take care of bees. I had an apist come, I think that's what you call them, people who take care of bees. Come and get the hives all set up for me. And then they come every now and again and just make sure everything is going okay with the bees and actually take the honey out and get it all set for me, and then they just sort of put it in that pallet there as the bees produce it. So I don't have to have any interaction with the bees. I just collect that pallet. That is fine with me. Happy to have the bees out here, but I don't know anything about dealing with them. You'll also probably notice this area here. I had to really dig down this bank so that I could get equipment in here to work with these greenhouses and even just to set them up. So that was a lot of leveling I had to do there to get it nice and even for me to drive my equipment around on. Okay, can I do it? This is the trick that Steve showed me. Well, okay, this is the trick that Steve showed me. Get these forks widened up a little bit. Might be too wide. Let's find out. This thing being articulating is a lot to get used to. So Steve said normally they would have these bag hooks that they would use to pick up these bags, but then I would have to have a different piece of equipment and wouldn't be able to pick up the pellets with the same thing, and I have to switch it on the front loader all the time. So he showed me that if you're very, oh boy, lucky, you can get the pellet forks to go through the bag handles and pick up 4 at a time, which is wild. And I did it. I'm feeling pretty good right now. Oh yeah. A couple of these down here. Go me. That was cool. Can I do it again? Kind of made a mess of them when I picked these up, so I'm not convinced. No. Well, okay, I'll settle for 3. That's fine. Boy, I'm just piling everything up. Let me take these on over to the next greenhouse. Come back and get these seed bags. Oh, come on. What is the downside? I get stuck sometimes. Of course, I'm not going to be able to do it from this angle, because why would I? That's fine. I'll just get a couple. Or one. That's okay. Oh my goodness. I don't want to break my new greenhouses. What am I doing here? I will say, I'm happy this is very sturdy glass. That's all. Getting used to a wheel loader and pellet forks. I can see me being in a hurry one day and driving a pellet fork right through one of these glass windows. But they're sturdy. Well, I'm sure that's why you tuned in, to see me make a mess of this. Okay, I promise to practice more with that off-screen before I make you sit through something like that again. I will take the truck back up to the shop. I'm not going to make you drive all the way back with me, but before I go, one other thing I wanted to show you. The money went down a lot. This is part of why. I got the 3 greenhouses and the site prep for that, the concrete pouring. And while I had the guys out pouring concrete, I had a thought. And the thought was this: that generator in my tent is freaking noisy. It's really hard to sleep like that. And there's all this oil around. There are power lines out by the road, but I'm not really producing power for myself. So I thought I could get this wind turbine up and running and solar panel. So I am producing power now for my very own farm. And while they were out here, I had them pour a concrete pad to put this generator stuff on. So I'm super excited. We will be getting income from this regularly because I don't have anything to power it yet right now. So this is all just extra money coming in, which I'm really going to need because I have a tractor now. I don't have a plow. I don't have a seeder. I don't have a cultivator. I don't have a weeder or a sprayer. I need a lot of equipment. I'm hoping I can sell some more sand over the winter to make some money. And now I've got my greenhouses almost set up. They'll start producing soon. And my bees are making honey. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get going. Okay. Well, all this rain is good for my wind turbine. It is stormy. Not so great for the solar though. I will drive the truck back over to the shop and I'll see you there. Okay, I am back at the shop and you may notice I still have this flatbed. I was about to turn it in and I did have to make another run with some more pallets and seeds and fertilizer for the greenhouses. What I took out there on the first load was not enough. And when I came back to turn this in, Steve has been loading me up, pointed out if I wanted to keep the flatbed a little longer, they have some really old, gross, rusty metal sitting back here under this little shelter. Over here, they've got 4 stacks of it. So my wheel loader that I've got out at the farm is too small to handle this. This wheel loader that Steve has been using to load the trailer up for me can just about handle it. It's pretty heavy even for this wheel loader to be able to lift it up. But I got Steve to load those up for me, for this one anyway, and he says I can take all 3 of them if I want to, and I will get paid for taking this over to the recycling center. The dealership has just had it sitting there forever. They're ready to get rid of it, and they said they'd be happy for me to take it so I can go collect the money. And to thank them for loading that up for me, and Steve said he'll load the other 3, I agreed to take their recyclable over to the recycling center for them. So I'm going to stop there on the way. So let's hop in and get going. It's just a gross day. It's okay. So the recycling center is over this way, where I can drop off these 2 bags of recycling for them. Although this trailer is really long, I might not actually try to take the truck into the recycling center. Maybe I'll just park in the road and run the bags back real quick. I'm sure nobody would mind. See what I mean? It just gets so congested right here. I think it's with people trying to go in and out the main gate. I'm gonna sneak through here. Sorry, buddy. So this is the recycling center. I'm just gonna pull off the road right here instead of trying to take this whole thing back. I can just about handle these. guess I'll just... Okay. That is all set. Now let's take this other metal over to the metal recycling place. Now I have not been there before, but Steve told me how to get there. I'm a little worried. He said it's up a dirt track. And I've gotten stuck in the sand on my farm more than once. So I'm a little worried about the dirt on the track. We'll see if it's a problem. Oh boy, okay. Oh, this thing is so long getting through here. It's such a hassle. Oh, am I stuck? I'm stuck! Okay, stand by. I'm gonna be back in just a minute after I get unstuck. Well, that was fun. I just got hung up on the railroad crossing there. I had to get the traffic to move and then go backwards and forwards a few times. And that's why I really don't want a trailer this long. But I kind of need it to haul this metal for recycling. Fields in the town are just so small. They're productive. I think what I'm doing out in the frontier is going to be a bit larger scale than that. Eventually, when I get there. Okay, I think he said just past the concrete block factory. That's where I turn. So I go up this way. I guess that's the dirt road he was talking about. Let's go with speed. Come on, speed, speed! Okay, so far so good. Holy moly. Okay. Wow, that was a little bit harrowing. But I made it. I guess... Let me hop out here and find someone who can tell me where to take this. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, y'all. I had them unload that for me, and I just made over $10,000 bringing this metal to be recycled. That is a whole lot of money. Wowie. I think Steve did me a real big solid letting me do this for the dealership. I don't know why they didn't do that themselves. Oh, it's so rough up here. Maybe that's part of it. I guess I'm just gonna go back and forth a few times and make some money. There goes the train. Oh, that means there's gonna be stopped traffic. I do like this truck. This truck is the only piece of equipment I have bought brand new. Everything else I've got so far I bought used, but I knew this truck was going to be so useful. I'm just going to spin around here. And then I will go find Steve and get him to load me up again. And I'm just going to do these 4 runs off camera. You don't need to see me driving these back and forth to the recycling station. So I'll see you all in a little bit when I move on to the next task. Alright, I am back at the dealer again, and I have my brand new tanker on my TLX Phoenix. This is pretty cool. It just fits nicely to the flatbed. I had them put the little sign on it to indicate milk or water because I am hoping someday I get some cows. And if I do, I want to make sure I'm only putting food safe stuff in this tanker. I'll buy another one if I have to put anything else in it, any other fluids I may end up with. Thanks, Steve. So let's head out to the farm and get water going in our greenhouses. And while we're going, let me tell you about the other conversations I had. I checked in with Rachel the mechanic while they were fitting this tanker to my truck, and she said that my new McCormick tractor that I bought needs a fair amount of work, and I've asked them to actually upgrade the engine in it because I want it to be big enough to run some bigger pieces of equipment out on the farm. So she says that will be done next month. They need to order some parts for it, so that'll be October. And when that comes in, I'm planning to rent a plow and start plowing, get a field going. Won't plant it yet, there's not going to be time, but it's going to take a while to plow, I think, with whatever I can use with that equipment. And I got a call back from Kate, my sponsor at the... Wow, these guys are so busy all the time. My sponsor at the Board of Agriculture, and she has actually talked to somebody here at Frontier Security about getting me access to that gate over there. And turns out they've got a special screening process for anybody who wants to get access there. And they have scheduled a screening for me actually later today. So I'll head over there and get screened. And that gate there, I could also potentially get clearance for, which leads more directly into the dealer, which I go to a lot. So I may talk to them about getting clearance for gates 1 and 3, or 1 and 2. I don't know what that... I've been doing some exploring. I will tell you about that another time. Let's not rock the boat too fast. So this road is the one I was talking about. Let's just take a turn down here and I'll show you. This one goes up to this gate, but check it out. This is covered in sand. I'm not even going to drive down here. It's awful. I'll just get out and we'll run up here. So it's not so bad here at the end, but the closer you get, the worse it gets. I mean, look at this. It's just all over the road. And when you get up toward that end, it's completely blocked. So when I spoke with Kate, I asked if I can clear the sand here. She said, typically, you can only clear things on your own property. Of course, that makes sense. But this would be a bit of a civic works project. And she kind of likes the idea of hero farmer doing some civic works. That was her words, not mine, by the way. Doing some civic works projects as a way to sort of, again, raise the profile of this program that the Board of Agriculture is doing, and maybe maybe win me some more interested parties, which may become important in the future, and I'll tell you why another time. So yeah, I think after I get my field plowed, because it is my first priority to get a crop in the ground in spring, I'm going to start just clearing the heck out of all the sand. And hopefully I'll get access to that gate and maybe the other one, and then I can come and go a lot more easily. And clearing all that sand might help me afford more equipment, which I'm going to have to buy. So let's head over here. This thing has got a pump, and I should just be able to fill it up. Great, the pump is going. Got a little gauge that tells me how full the tank is. This is awesome. Gotta say, oh, don't run over my honey. My honey. Let's start filling up these greenhouses, huh? Just pump it right into the greenhouse tank. I love it. Great. I really want to do farming. I want to be ready to have the field going, get some crops in it, but I just know it's going to take me a while to build up everything I need, and this will get me going fast and get some money coming in. It's kind of nice on a day as gross as today to be able to just sit in the cab and do a lot of running around. It's not my favorite, but I get stuff done. I think I filled that one up. Start loading up here. It's pretty great to just have that pump. Not even have to get out. Worth every penny. I'll tell you, I've been out here for over a month now, and it's still strange looking at the city from the outside. I spent my whole life in those buildings, and I'm out here. And a whole lot of nothing. Or maybe not nothing? I'm starting to have some ideas about something. I think I have just filled up the last greenhouse. So now I should be able to park this out of the way for the moment. Hey, bees. Oh, I haven't showed you this yet. Oh, out of the way. Oh, okay. They go in and out real fast. See all these hives? It's very cool. I don't want to get too close. They haven't bothered me yet, but I don't want to give them reason to. Okay, I'm going to go in and get planting. I have got a lot of little boxes to fill up. I will come back in when I have got these things growing. See you in a few days. Welcome back. It's been a few days since I have recorded anything, but I've done great progress here. I've got my greenhouses growing. Look at this. Got cabbage in here. They're so cute. They're just starting to show their heads. It's been a rainy few days, let me tell you. I've got my carrots going in here. They are looking delightful. And not much to see on this front. There'll be watermelons eventually. You can just start to see a little bit peeping through. It's hard to tell, really. It's getting dark, too. It's the end of the day. Raining again. It's been a rainy September. So, there have been a few more developments since we spoke last. Which is to say, since I spoke to you last. I had my screening over at Frontier Security, and that was an experience. I will maybe not talk about it on camera. Maybe not right now. Maybe once some time has passed and I have shown myself to be a good citizen. Anyway, I got clearance for both gates. All I have to do is clear the sand. That is on my list of things to do now. On top of this sand, which I get bogged down in when I drive around here. And at some point, I probably want to build more things here. There are 2 rules with the gates. Apparently each gate is a set of double gates. And when I open them, I have to make sure they are closed before sunset. It's getting dark right now. That's not super comforting, let me tell you. The other rule is, when we have an alert, which we do sometimes, the gates cannot be opened. The only access is in and out the main gate. That makes sense. We haven't had an alert since I've been living out here in a tent. I do not have access to the shelters out here that they have in the city. I don't know if I will get a notification of an alert out here. And if I did, I don't know if I would have time to get into a shelter in the city anyway. So I'm just kind of waiting to see what's really going on. We'll talk more about that in the future, shall we? In the meantime, I think I'm going to call it here for September. Next month, Rachel, the mechanic at the shop, promised my McCormick tractor will be ready for me. So I'm going to go pick it up. I'm going to rent a plow, and we're going to get going, plowing up a field back here. Then I'll have to put some lime on it, cultivate it, get it ready to seed in the spring. But for now, to my rest in my lovely tent. Ta-ta, everyone. Bye-bye for now.